Welcome to the first edition of Dog Walk and Truth Talk. I'm walking, and there's my dogs. You can just about see them there. In this first episode, I'm going to be taking a look at Rishi Sunak and these alerts that got sent out, and whether he financially profited from these alerts. I've got a hell of a lot of information, loads of screenshots, loads of facts. It's not just hearsay. And personally, I think Rishi Sunak is more slippery than an eel covered in oil on an ice rink. So the question is, did Rishi Sunak award Fujitsu the contract for these emergency alerts for his own financial gain? I'll let you make your mind up about that. So let's have a look at some stats, some facts, and some screenshots. Firstly, these emergency alerts were an absolute fail. About 1 in 5 people, which is 20% of people, receive them. And what you got to bear in mind is I got these stats from the BBC. Now, I trust Sam Smith to give a speech about masculinity more than I trust the BBC to give me correct news. So what I'm thinking is it was probably around 10 to 15% of people that got these alerts. I'm just going through a thorn bush. Because after all, these news outlets are pushing an agenda and they're trying to stop the government looking like the failures they are. Now, personally, I turn these alerts off because I've survived 35 years without getting hit by a hurricane or a tidal wave or anything like that. So I am going to take my chances to protect my privacy. Hello. Now, they chose to send out these alerts on one of the busiest days in the UK. It was St. George's Day, the London Marathon was on, the World Snooker Championships are on, the football was on, the snooker even had to stop play for these alerts. The snooker crowd has to be silent so the players can concentrate. So for me, this was just a psychological power move by the government to send them out on this day, just to see if the population would obey, and most of you did. I mean, lucky enough, I was at home when these alerts got sent out. But I did have a friend who was at Legoland Windsor, and as you can imagine, there is thousands and thousands of people there. He said, come 3 o'clock, all these alerts went off, and it kind of put fear into people, which is what the government wants. You can imagine, you're just walking around and you hear these loud sirens going off for 10, 20 seconds, however long they were. It's psychologically going to do something to you, isn't it? Say there was 1,000 people in the area he was. That would be 100 to 150 phones making this siren all at the same time. Absolutely insane. Right then, let's look at some more facts. We know that Fujitsu were handed the contract for these alerts, and this in itself should be a crime. With the Horizon scandal that went on with the post office, just a brief one on that. A while back ago now, they supplied an accounting system to the post office, which had bugs. It wasn't fit to go out, and it wrongly detected financial discrepancies, and this led to 736 postal workers getting blamed, and this led to some of them going bankrupt, losing their houses, some of them got imprisoned, and some of them sadly took their own lives, all because of Fujitsu. And if we look who the post office single shareholder is, you guessed it, yeah, it's the UK government. The same people that have just paid Fujitsu £1.6 million for these alerts to be sent out, which obviously gets paid by the taxpayer, you and I. And people say the world and the government is not corrupt. Wake up. Look at these views. Absolutely gorgeous out here. It's a bit wet though. Look, I'm wearing shorts. Feet are soaking. Oh, and guess how much that Horizon corrupt system cost the UK taxpayer? £1 billion. That is correct. £1 billion for a corrupt system that got people jailed, even led them to taking their own lives. And we go and give them another contract. And there could also be a £1 billion Great British pound compensation fee that is going to get paid to the workers that were wrongly accused. Now, I agree, the workers should get compensated, but we, the taxpayers, should not be paying it. Fujitsu should be paying that. But somehow, they're not. Hey, boy. Now, honestly, do you think that this contract would be handed to Fujitsu if the people that were handing it out were not financially benefited from it? Not a chance. They would have given it to somebody else who is less criminal. Now, am I saying that Rishi Sunak and his wife benefited from this transaction, this contract offering to Fujitsu? No. If it wasn't interesting enough already, this is where it gets interesting. Fujitsu have got a working partnership with a company called Infosys. I think that's how you say it. If it's not, I'm not really too bothered. INFOSYS. And this started in 2003. Now, this information, you can see it in a screenshot, can be found on Infosys website. So it is not false news. And if we look who the founder of this company is, it comes up as Narayana Murthy. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But that second name should ring a bell to you. I went and clicked on his name, and listed as his child is S.C.A.M. I think that's how you say her name as well. I don't know. I'm not very good with names. Well, yeah, you should know who that is as well. Listed as his son-in-law on Wikipedia is no other than Rishi Sunak. You can't make this stuff up, can you? Sound fishy so far? It gets better. Infosys partnered with an Australian firm called Telstra. And can you guess what they created together? I bet you can now, can't you? Yes, a national emergency alert system for mobile phones. Okay, so I presented you with all this information. You're asking, how is this going to benefit Rishi and his wife? Because it's her father's company and not hers. I'm going to tell you that as well. Well, S.C.A.M. has a 0.93% stake in Infosys, which does not sound like a lot, admittedly, but that stake is worth around 690 million Great British pounds. Now, again, there is no information that Infosys actually partnered with Fujitsu on this alert system, or that they had any involvement whatsoever in it. But just ask yourself this: if Fujitsu are partnered with Infosys, and Infosys have already built one of these alert systems for Australia, and an award-winning one at that, then why would Fujitsu not use them? It just makes no sense at all. If you know somebody that's got expertise in a field that you know nothing about, and you're partnered with them, you know them, you are going to bring them in to help you with that, aren't you? Obviously, Rishi has denied this, so it must be true. They must have had no involvement in it whatsoever, because it's not like a politician to lie, is it? They are all honest. They will not lie about anything. And in this day and age, when truth is labelled as misinformation, it is going to be actually hard to find hard evidence that Infosys were involved in this emergency alert scam. System, sorry. But to be honest, you don't have to have any more than 2 brain cells to see that it stands out more than Rolf Harris does at a children's birthday party. On Twitter, the fact checker says that Fujitsu were not handed the contract. Screenshots, you can see it here. But in the Parliament notes that I found from a meeting that they had, it clearly says that Fujitsu were given the contract. Social media silencing again. Freedom of speech. Not these days. What I'm about to show you and tell you next might shock you, because it shocked me. Now, fishy Rishi Sunak became the Prime Minister of the UK on the 25th of October 2022. Now, they hide things in plain sight just to cover their own arses. I found an amazing website after I did loads of digging, and this is called Contract Finder. Now, on this website, you can see all the government contracts that they have handed out to what company and how much they have paid them as well. So you can find anything out, yeah? The internet, if you use it to your advantage, it can be a lovely place. Since Rishi became Prime Minister, Infosys have been given £1.76 million of the taxpayers' money for one contract. Bearing in mind, he's only been a Prime Minister for 6 months. That is a hell of a lot of money. It gets even more interesting. What people fail to remember is, before he became Prime Minister, he was Councillor of the Exchequer from March of 2020 until May 2022. And then obviously he became Prime Minister a couple of months after. And if you don't know, this is what the Councillor of Exchequer job actually is. You can see it in the screenshot. It is the government's chief financial minister, and it also controls public spending. Yeah, public spending. So obviously, like I did, I wanted to do some more digging. So I went back to this Contracts Finder website, which is a government website. And I found that in that time, he had given Infosys 17 contracts, totaling, wait there, over 50 million Great British pounds. The exact number is 50,749,000. Now, that is a hell of a lot of money to be paying a company that you have financial interest in. And granted, the government were using Infosys before Rishi was Councillor of the Exchequer or Prime Minister. They've been using them since 2015, but they only normally give them about 1 or 2 contracts a year at the most before that. And fishy Rishi has issued them 17 contracts in 3 years. You try telling me that is not dodgy. He's not called Fishy Rishi for no reason whatsoever. You're listening, dogs, you're learning. So now I've supplied you all that information. I hope you can use it to make up your own minds on whether you think Rishi is lying in his own pockets. He certainly isn't lying in anybody else's. I hope this was informal for you. I will be doing one of these a week that will come out on Friday nights. If you do like this sort of information sort of video, then please like, comment, share, subscribe. We need to get these sort of videos out there so people can start waking up and seeing what the world really is about and how it really runs. In the next few weeks as well, I will have a very, very interesting video coming out about the World Economic Forum and what is going to be happening to the world going forward. Say bye, doggies. Say bye. A bit shy. But yeah, hope you did enjoy that. But don't forget to like and share. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.